Morning. So today's video, I said last week on my Instagram, I put out a poll basically asking what people wanted to see, and the vast majority of people voted for my top 5 tips on taking control of your finances. So here we go, 5 tips on taking control of finances. Tip number 1 would be to create a budget. So start by analysing your income and your expenditure, and create a budget that works for you. So look at what you're earning, what you're taking in, and then say to yourself, I'm only going to spend X amount of that. That's my budget for this month. The number one thing that I personally do, so obviously I'm going to try and relate these back to things that I do. The one thing that I do, as soon as I get paid from the Royal Marines, not necessarily from Cultivate because I've only just started taking a wage from there and I want to build it up as much as I can, but from the Marines especially, I'll get paid my wage, and before any bills come out, I'll withdraw in cash a certain expenditure for that month. And once that money's done, that is me. So I withdraw on a personal level. I don't know if I should be telling this to the camera, but on a personal level, I withdraw £200 at the start of the month before any bills come out. I pay myself first. Robert Kiyosaki says it in his Rich Dad Poor Dad book. You should always pay yourself first, and for that reason, that's exactly what I do. Take out the money, once it's gone, and that's it. Tip number 2 then, track your spending. Keep track of what you're spending by constantly reviewing bank statements, constantly either go out in the bank, print them off, or look at your online banking app. You can always just adjust what you're spending by doing that. It wasn't until last month or 2 months ago that I looked at my online statement and I realised that I'd spent over £100 just on coffee alone. So you can actually learn a lot about yourself just by looking at your bank statement. Once you do that, it'll show you where you can maybe save money, where you can put money to one side, and it allows you to overall take control of your finances. Number 3 would be to build an emergency fund. So I know it's easier said than done. We're in a time of financial hardship, and I totally appreciate that. But what we can do is, as soon as we get paid, we've obviously taken our money, like for example the £200 I was on about, that's your budget for the month to buy coffee, to go out nights out, to go for dinner, whatever you have to do. But then try and build an emergency fund on top of that, whether it's £5 or £10 a month. Over the course of a year or 2 years, that builds up. And what you want to be hitting is somewhere between 3 and 6 months worth of expenses. So if you know your expenses are £1,000 a month, some people more than that, some people less, you want to hit 3 to 6 months worth of expenditure saving. And once we're at that point, you're then in a safer zone. That's your emergency fund, so if anything goes wrong here, you can then withdraw the money from here and use it to support your living. Number 4, try and pay off debt. Debt is good, don't get me wrong, I've had it in the past and it's been really beneficial for helping me get set up in other areas, but high interest debt is not good. We want to get rid of that as soon as we can. 0% interest, great, take advantage of it, 0% credit cards, all the rest of it, but just be aware that the longer you're in debt, the more you're going to be paying back to that company and they're going to be benefiting from you. So try and limit the amount of high interest debt that they take. I appreciate cars and stuff is completely different. That's going to be an asset, or it's an expenditure, but it can be an asset from helping you to do what you want to do day to day. But just try and limit the amount of materialistic debt, so to speak, so like Klarna and things like that. When interest gets added on, it's not good when it comes to credit cards. So try and limit that. Another one I would say is set yourself financial goals. So say to yourself, if there is a material object or a financial position you want to be in, write that goal down, get it jotted down and pin it on the wall, and that's your number 1 target. So then as soon as you start to think about going out for dinner or going out for a few drinks or whatever, suddenly, as much as these things are nice, you start to think about the thing you actually want to achieve long term. And for that reason, it becomes a whole lot easier to take control of your finances. So instead of just being ruthless and going, oh, I'm just going to buy those shoes, I'm going to do this, do that, you think, actually, I've got a long-term goal in mind. Once I get to that goal, I can then think about buying the initial thing I wanted to buy. And I think that is 5, but one bonus, one that I'll give you to take control of your finances that I personally feel is beneficial, or you can see as a negative I suppose, is getting rid of Apple Pay. Now, people are going to hate me for saying that, because Apple Pay is really easy, and if you forget your wallet, it's great. Now, what I mean by that is, don't have every card that you've got on Apple Pay, because it becomes too easy to just double tap the lock button and tap the phone, and all of a sudden you check the bank statement, like we said before, and all of a sudden you've got £5 here, £6 there, blah blah blah, and it all adds up. So maybe have one card on there for emergencies that doesn't have as much, that doesn't have all your money in it, but your main card, I would take off that so that you're not tempted to spend it. And that there is my 5 tips plus 1 bonus one. What I would suggest, or what I must say, is I'm not a financial advisor by any means, so take everything I've said with a pinch of salt. Please apply it to your own life if need be, if you feel it would be beneficial, but just be aware that I'm not a financial advisor. There are people out there who are paid a lot of money to do these things. I'm just giving you my personal take on the subject and how I take control of my finances. I need to say, I'm not a millionaire by any means, that's not what I'm saying, but I do feel like I'm in control of what I spend, and you can be too if you just apply these really simple 5 principles plus 1. So yeah, let me know what you think of the video. If you like this kind of content, I know it's only a short video, it's only 7 or 8 minutes, but let me know down below what you think of this kind of content. If you like this kind of stuff, let me know and I can put out some more. But yeah, have a great day, and I'll catch up with you all soon.